Hey, practice owners, I'm excited today to talk about a super simple but highly effective strategy to see a major revenue burst in the next couple weeks. So this has a bunch of different names: database reactivation, database engagement. I'm just calling it leveraging your existing list of prospects to see a revenue burst, and how we're going to accomplish that here. So basically, one of the things that we would be doing here is consistently promoting packages and offers to your existing list via text message and email marketing. That's a must. And the reason that this is going to focus primarily on text message marketing, which I'll get to in a second, is that it creates a psychological obligation to respond, especially when you follow the framework that we use to send text message reengagements to our prospect list. So with email, people are kind of used to tuning it out. Things get lost in the weeds. You try to throw too many specials in a newsletter. The subject line doesn't stand out. The open rates aren't great. But with text message, we have nearly 100% deliverability, and we can create this psychological obligation to respond. So many marketing companies will promote case studies where they'll say things like, hey, my client got $50,000 in revenue in just 2 weeks without spending a dollar on ads. This is what they're talking about: some form of database re-engagement. And I'll show you the strategies and tactics we use to make this maximally effective here in a second. So this is just one example of a small little re-engagement we did for a client a couple of weeks ago, where we only sent this to 150 people and they had almost $11,000 in revenue. So you start to scale that to lists that are, 2, 3, 5,000 prospects. This is where you start to see those $50,000, $75,000 bursts of revenue coming in from these reactivation, re-engagement strategies. So again, simple but highly effective. Here is the text message framework that we follow. And I'm going to explain the key points to this. So screenshot, this might be the most important screen in this presentation when you're sending text blasts. Follow this format with everything that you do. So when we've had clients send mass text blasts out that look like a mass text blast that came from a business, so the version of this text blast that we normally see is, it's Luxury Med Spa. We're running a promo for 50% off laser hair packages, April only. Call to schedule. And maybe it's got a phone number, and that's kind of it, right? When we've tested this, one anecdotal example that I can give you is we tested a client that did it that way, and then we tested it with this framework. They had 8 times the number of people book and schedule appointments doing it the way that we outline here. So the key components are, it's personalized. It's going to be to a person from a person. Hey, Sarah, it's Amy from Luxury Med Spa. We start almost all of them with that basic little sentence. And we want the person who's actually responsible for replying to these messages to be the name on the message. So if Amy is going to be the person that's booking the appointment, it's Amy's name that's on the text message blast. So in your text messaging tool, you can usually just pull the custom field for first name for the prospect, and it'll fill that in automatically. So it'll be, hey, prospect name, it's Amy from Luxury Med Spa, and the Sarah part fills in automatically. Then the next thing you'll notice is that it's short, and we're going to pick one offer to highlight. So instead of just blasting them with a bunch of different specials or a link to the monthly specials, we're going to pick the thing that either has been resonating best or that we think will resonate best and highlight that specific offer. So we're running a limited time promo this month on laser hair removal, 50% off packages. We're expecting spots to fill up fast. So that offer is sandwiched around language that relates to creating a sense of urgency. Limited time special, this month only, spots will fill up fast. So if you've been thinking about getting laser hair removal, you maybe originally inquired about it, you've been getting other services, but now you may have not even been thinking about laser hair removal, but this is a really attractive offer, and you need to act quick. This is where you're going to see a much better response rate. And then the last part is we want to end these with a question-based prompt. So ask for the business. This is a key to sales. You have to ask for the sale. So that's what we're doing here with the question-based prompt. Are you interested in scheduling an appointment? I have some availability next week, even more specificity. We'll even have clients sometimes put the actual availability. I've got a 3 o'clock. I've got some appointments next Wednesday and Friday. Would you like to schedule that appointment? And the response rate you're going to get from any sort of text message re-engagement is going to be much, much better when you follow that basic formula. So here's some use cases. So you can do this for your monthly specials, like I just mentioned. You can do this to fill up spots on the schedule for practitioners that maybe have a later schedule. We have one client that does this really well. They basically, early in the week, will look at her availability on Thursday. And let's say she's got a 1 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, and a 4 o'clock. They'll send a text message out on Monday or Tuesday saying, hey, Emily has a 1, 3, and a 4 for Botox or filler. First come, first serve, 10% off. Expect these to go fast. And they've been able to consistently fill her schedule every week using that version of a text message re-engagement strategy. You can also incentivize old leads that have gone cold. So if you've ever had people inquire from old ad efforts but didn't purchase, go back to those people with a reminder offer. See if you can get them in with a time sensitive offer to get them back in for an appointment. And then you can incentivize, like the example I just showed you on the first screen, where that client just sent a small list and had $11,000 come in pretty much immediately. That was just clients who came in once but then stopped coming in. So we did like a re-engagement to those specific prospects on a small list. So other things of note here, softwares that can do this, Slick Text. If you're not worried about HIPAA compliance, if you're just a med spa, that can work as a really simple tool. Podium is a podcast sponsor of our podcast now, so I would encourage you to check that tool out. It's really cool. We use High Level for all of our clients, so we have a white labeled version of that called Magic Hat Pro. So for our clients, we take care of that. But if you're doing this on your own, Podium, Slick Text, and if you're a dermatologist or somebody that requires HIPAA compliance, definitely go Podium or some other HIPAA compliant text tool. You might also be able to do this via your practice management system or EMR. Just make sure that you can customize it and that you have two-way capabilities, meaning that you can respond when somebody sends a text back to you to try to book that appointment. So that's it. Super powerful, super simple. Try this if you haven't already. Let me know how it goes if you try it down in the comments. And if you have any questions about this strategy, shoot those in the comments too. I'll make sure that I get you an answer as soon as I can. We'll talk to you on the next one.